Scott writes, any other tall guys get turned off by this? Let's see what he's talking about. Obviously, being tall as a guy has its advantages in dating. Girls are shamelessly allowed to flaunt a height preference, which always comes out to 6 feet and above, never less. I'm 6'2" and recently had dating a 5', 100-pound girl, the smallest girl I've ever dated. She told me I would never talk to a guy who isn't at least 6 feet tall. She has to be with a guy who is over a foot taller than her. Hearing that rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, well, you might be taking it a little too seriously. Yeah. It's never, I prefer guys who are taller than me. It's usually, don't even talk to me unless you are this tall. I would, in my case, I would be more playful in a situation like that than I'd be upset. Because you being upset, it's like, yeah, you might disagree with her and you're going to disagree about a lot of other things too. But if you let all your disagreements lead to you get pissed off or you thinking she should behave a different way and she's disrespectful because she's saying I wouldn't talk to a guy that's over under 6 foot and I have to stick up for these little guys kind of thing, it's like you're just going to really create a lot of opportunities for you to get pissed off. And so little things like this, me personally, I think it's best oftentimes just to be more playful and just let these things go. um, if it gets to the point where she's like totally disrespectful, and then doing like all these comments and just kind of bringing you down because you're with her and she's totally negative all the time, then you might say something. But at these like little tiny things, it's like sometimes you just let it go, man. I've heard the same thing from other girls on the shorter side. My ex even told me she wouldn't have dated me if I wasn't as tall as I was. That's when you have some kind of playful response that basically almost tests her and gets her kind of into her uncertainty on kind of where you stand. But you do it. Being playful sometimes is like being a dick, but with a smile on your face and a playful tone. So the two of you kind of laugh it off, but it's sometimes is useful and important for you to have those types of comebacks. That way you almost like maintain your posture, maintain your strength, and that's why I have the comebacks you can get for free, 45 pages of comebacks related to relationships, all in that description below. So I would say at this point, I would let it go. And again, I'd use a playful comeback. But if it gets to the point where she's totally disrespectful and not someone you want to even be around, then when it gets to that point, then you might get into it and say, hey, it's not really cool for you to do that. So I don't know. Me personally, I like to try my best to structure my life in a way that that doesn't create a bunch of opportunities for me to get upset. And oftentimes that just has to do with the rules. It's like the more rules we have, the more opportunities for those rules to be broken. And when our rules are broken, oftentimes we get upset. That was like, I'm thinking of this quote this guy said. I think he had like 5 like quintuplets or however, quinta or whatever. And somebody asked him how he really takes care of all those kids. And he says, well, the less rules you have, the better. But what that does is it creates less opportunities for you to get pissed off. But when your rules are broken, like your values, that's when you step in and defend them. So subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next one.